everybody. Deborah Lynn here in the studio. If it's your first time here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. You guys, I'm going to do a really easy one for you guys. Everybody should be able to do this one, okay? And I'm doing it on inexpensive pulp paper. It is hot press though. You can use cold press. You can use whatever you have. You can even use 100% cotton if you want, okay? I just happened to find some hot press paper at Hobby Lobby on clearance for $1.24 a whole sheet. Can you believe that? I got two big paintings, this one and another one, out of one sheet of paper. I thought that was fabulous for $1.24. And I'm using my Van Gogh paints, and I did use one Mission Gold Magella paint. Right now I have got indigo, I've got dusk yellow down, and olive green. Now dusk yellow is kind of a gray-green kind of color. I don't know why they call it dusk yellow when it doesn't really come off yellow at all. So that's what you see me doing. I am just putting the horizon line down, okay? I'm just putting some of those colors down, and now I just got my spray bottle out, and I'm just going to spray that and kind of let it do its thing. Now, I'm going to have to pick up the paper and kind of manipulate it a little bit to get it to flow. And that's the fun part of this, is just watching how the pigment flows. This is a great tutorial if you are new to watercolor and you need to learn how the pigments mingle together, what happens when you have a dry piece of paper and you put the pigment down and then you spray it, all that comes into play. You can learn so much out of one big painting by doing this method. Now I am throwing down the Indothrone blue here. Okay, this is Magello Mission Gold Indothrone blue. Very, very highly pigmented. It is one of their nicer colors that they have. I think it's got a 5-star, so it's up there as far as being one of their more expensive pigments. But still, Mission Gold is pretty reasonable as far as price-wise, and the pigments are absolutely so saturated with pigment. They're fabulous. But I wanted this painting to be very, very soft and serene. So that's why I opted to go with the Van Gogh mixed with just a little bit of Magello. And right here, all I'm doing is doodling, you guys. This is all going to go bye-bye, okay? I'm just playing. I know that this paper, there's just puddles of paper there, and I can just have fun and hit it with the sprayer, and it's gone. And you'll see that happen here in a minute. So this is just me being in the moment. I'm working intuitively. I know I'm filming for you guys, but also I'm still working intuitively. So that's what you see happening here. Now I'm just getting the spray bottle out and I'm loosening all that up that I was playing around with. And look at how beautiful those pigments are moving. I think it's just so beautiful. Now I did have quite a puddle starting to happen there. So I just ripped off a little bit of that 1-ply paper and I just dropped it on the paper. I didn't press it down or anything like that. I just kind of dropped it there and let the water kind of, absorb into the paper on its own. And now I'm just going to kind of work on the foreground here. I'm going to be getting my palette knife out. I'm just going to load it up with a little bit of that dusk yellow and add a little texture into the foreground. I am spraying the back of the paper because it was kind of acting a little weird and like it was curling it a little bit. So in order to get it to lay flat and to cooperate, sometimes just spraying the back of your paper is all you need to do. And there I kind of moved the pigments around and let everything kind of just, the minute you pick up that paper, that pigment's going to move and it's going to change everything. So you have to be willing to let things go. You might like how everything's looking, and then you're gonna have to move the paper and everything's gonna change. So you just have to go with the flow and just work with what's in front of you, and just don't overthink, just go with the flow. There, I'm just working on that foreground, just putting in some textured lines with that dusk yellow. Oh, I also have just there's a little bit of turquoise. It is the cobalt turquoise hue by Magello. I threw a little bit of it in, and you know what? In the end, everything came into play. It kind of disappeared. I'm kind of sorry it did, because it was actually looked really pretty just to have that little extra aqua kind of color. I always like to put a little surprise color in, but this one, I think it ended up kind of, everything else kind of blended with it, and it kind of just disappeared in the end. So now I'm just going to work on the horizon line a little bit. I'm getting a little bit of that olive green, and I'm just going to kind of straighten it out a little bit there, because it kind of dips down, and that was bugging me. So I'm going to straighten that all out here in about 2 seconds. There it goes. Little palette knife to spread it, and there's my head. And there's the spray ink, that's the moss color. Fantastic color for landscapes. It's brown, but it also has like a little bit of a green color to it. Also can feel almost a little bit yellow. So it's a nice color. I really like it. It's gonna always probably be in my studio as a go-to color. There's that Indothrone. Look at how it just pushes that pigment. It's so bold and strong. It just whoosh, fabulous effect. Don't you love when that happens? And I really saw that happening on this this hot press paper, because there's no texture to this paper. So it just, the stuff just moves super, super fast. Now, I've done papers like this on cold press. Works just as beautiful on cold press. You might get a little bit more granulation when you're using the cold press or rough. But I did get granulation with that Dusk Yellow by Van Gogh. Those granulate a lot. So that gives it a really cool effect. Now here you see me using my staple that I love to use. It's my white watercolor. That is a correction material, but it is a white watercolor, and I just drop a little bit of it into the horizon line. Also brought a little bit of it into the foyer. Right now you see me playing with it in the sky a little bit, because I got little ink dots all over in the sky. So now I'm just kind of covering all those little ink dots up. It is a correction material, so it will cover mistakes. So that's what was happening up there. And it also does really cool things for skies. Also, you can make really pretty skies with some of that Dr. P.H. Martin Bleed Proof White. So I'm just loosening everything up at the bottom. Just, oh, here I'm getting that spray ink out. So now I'm going to bring more of that spray ink in and really do something with the foreground there, because it's just a great big white area. So I need to do something. So in that bottom right corner is where I kind of build things up a little bit. And I'm just going to go in and just play around with that wet ink right now. It's sitting on top of the paper. There's a lot of water there. It's sitting in water, so I'm able to manipulate it a little bit. Is it staining the paper to a degree? Absolutely. but I still am able to play around with it. And here you see me just making some little grass, little flower heads, not overthinking, just giving a quick reference to something is going on there. This is what I love about this painting. I absolutely love that horizon line. I love the movement. I know it doesn't look like a typical sky, but it's just the fact that the watercolor has created such cool effects that I think that is just so neat. I love the movement in the sky. So basically, you guys, this is it. This was my painting. I can't wait to see what you guys have all created. Come over to my group over in Facebook and let me see what you've been working on. In the meantime, you guys, be safe, stay well, and God bless you guys with all of your art and in your life. Right now, I'm just putting a little bit of salt flakes down and let them sit there and dry and do their thing. Yes, I said salt flakes. You can find those at Home Goods. Okay, bye for now.